Hi buddies, I am Jackaroo Toro, and on this channel I talk about Australian Aborigines, their languages, cultures, history and so on. And in a couple of videos I've been looking at food, what types of food Aborigines ate in Australia traditionally. And specifically I've been looking at what Norman Tindale wrote about what types of food Aborigines in recently contacted tribes and groups in Australia ate. And we've been looking at vegetable food. Today I thought we could switch focus to animals. And what Tindale writes is that all animals that could be caught in Australia were also eaten. I thought we could start with moths. Actually, perhaps that's not what people think of in the first place when they hear the word meat. But the fact of the matter is that Australian Aborigines would eat moths, and specifically moth larvae. So we have this type of moth in the southern half of Australia. Belongs to this family of moths. It becomes quite large, 12 centimeters, and the larvae are also quite big. And this is something I have tried myself. Actually quite good, a sweetish taste. Anyway, the larvae, they attach to roots of the riverredgumtree, which is a sort of eucalypt they have in Australia. Underground, they dig down, they attach to the root with a string and then dig down. So when Aborigines see the signs of that there is a larva underneath a root, they scoop up the earth and they smell the hole that results. And if the humidity and smell is right, they push down a stick 6 or 7 feet with a hook in the end and fish up the larva that way with the hook. Yes, and as I said, quite good actually as a snack. But if we move on to what people more typically probably see as meat, Tindale writes that kangaroos and emus have to drink regularly and therefore they are easy to kill at waterholes using spears or boomerangs. In traditional times, of course, using spears or boomerangs. So what the Aborigines would often do is that they would create a path using shrubs and big shields and also often large stones. They would scare the animals to take these paths, and along the paths hunters with spears and kangaroos would lay hidden, ready to kill the animals when they showed up. Yes, the wallaroo, the kangaroo of the hills, as Tindale calls it, does not have to drink as often as plains kangaroos, but Aborigines used the same strategy. They built paths from hill to hill and had hunters hidden at different places along these paths. Yes, other strategies for killing kangaroos and emus were also used. Tindale writes that in the hot, humid weather after rain, it was common to take advantage of the kangaroo's natural tendency to run in a wide circle when hunted. So two youths would team up, Tindale writes, and take turns hunting the kangaroo, running after it. When one got tired, the other one took over. And eventually the kangaroo was exhausted and easy to kill. This, however, was also very exhausting for the youths involved, because the killing of a kangaroo this way would often lead to several days of inactivity on the part of the youths, of course. But they got a lot of nice kangaroo meat. Grilled kangaroo tail is a delicacy, I would say. Really nice. You should try it sometime. Also in Australia we have different species of corkwoodtree belonging to this family. They are spread out all over Australia, and they are trees or large bushes. And in the Western Desert there is a specific type. The Western Desert is a huge area here in the western half of Australia, hence the name. There is a specific type of corkwood tree that is a large bush, the stems and foliage of which was used. They were first bruised and beaten and then put into the water holes, because when beaten they give off the drug nornicotine. So that was used to stupefy emus, making it really easy to go up to them and club them. Yes. In the lower reaches of the Murrayriver, Tindale writes, that is just southeast of Adelaide. So in this area here, in the lower reaches of the Murrayriver, there was this group, which today is considered a subgroup of the Ngarrindjerri, the Ngarrindjerris which live here. And I must say I'm not quite sure how this first syllable should be pronounced. Aboriginal languages have the vowel E, which these days is usually written with the letter I. I'm not sure what the letter E here represents, if it represents something different. Anyway, these people, they would take advantage of the emu's natural curiosity. They would fasten some emu feathers on a long stick, 10 to 15 feet, and then they would hide and shake this stick close to where they knew that emus were hiding. Emus would then come out of hiding because they wanted to check out this stick to see what was going on. And there would be a slipknot attached to this stick, and it would be quickly placed over the head of the bird when it came close. Yes, speaking of birds, Tindale also writes that at the lower Murrayriver, nets were used. In duck season, they would place nets up in trees in the flyways of ducks, so as to catch ducks. Yes, and the presence of a flyway of ducks also determined the use of the true returning boomerang. Tindale writes. But that was a little bit about animals and meat. And as I said, I recommend you try a grilled kangaroo tail at some point, and perhaps also larvae. But this will be all for today, so see you later.